Debiere sangria nyaokai Baba figure de play with the Babla by Bobo Monsieur by your Kumore. Yeah, in the Ubleja, when you are you floor, and the German body go Yadamanu Manu. The Wamas I bow for him where they get out for your Manu Mako. Mamma the power tower. They am where you get out for. I had them on your play. Oh, yeah.
Papa Joe Feliz. I said, Dante Philippe.
You know, I gave me, you know, but I gave me. One year, people look up where Tianiaka. Yeah, this I told you. Well, never wear blah blah blah, and I am the year. Those are good year. Playing my year. I gave me women. The way I want to wear and do the move now, you power down. Yeah, I am on your blood in your back. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, my yeah. But everybody, man, the chip, library.
Doctor Payeto.
But everybody, my dear, go
c'est à Marcel. Mi a un bléon. Au moins yo.
Good evening, folks. Welcome. This is the Liberia Public Radio. I'm Alfonso Z. And so right here this evening, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners right across the globe. And tonight is Wednesday. This is All Things Considered Special Editions.
Spi Laurent, Spi Antoine.
The cities is on edge.
Paul Wallace. Ako Joachim yo. Go beri we be pa. Yeah.
Yo, tana bua babu akosia we apanyo. Mapapa ebi de yeta jwanuko. Si aklabu. Ye ya to. Baidenya, blade ya to ko be mama ya de makona ngwa poti ngo kwerevo. Ya o mata sini yakere. Ingro mowe. Manya pana de dada ye gebla. Nama do mo makwasi aso yoba. Ya jade ya brayo, jade ya dalwe. Manya kaya se. Ni pomlo na ya ye ta to nyo. Abe abokan na ye ta yo. Eja ya we ya no. Apostle that way the mumble. Yeah, we
Mama Mwa Ivan.
You never know the walk on your mom. How point you?
Papa pay your plan George.
How point you? How point you? How point you? Yeah, how point you? How point you? How point you? You can not go. How point you? How point you? You do I don't know. How point you?
Mama Jiro Ejeni.
Yeah, mama. You know what you know why you want to do. Mama Veronica. Yeah, yeah, say oh. I'm you. I'm a bonnet who are the you who are the Bautu. And we do make a Bautu, you, Mamma. Eh, my dada, I hear no more for my nigger. Say, I found you. Yeah, go and say, oh, by the gate. Those is one my Jimmy. Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, gave our house on. Can you go? And you the woman was a good guy. The room over. Mamma, never do your card, you know. Papa, what do go home? Them what they are checking with the one you can see. You're glad one more guy, no more dear thing. Yeah, open by Yamo. And I ever did love. Never the mouse of where you go. I will say I made it. May I buy down love? Parent by your one. As I am a boy. Cheer quiet. Some was there. The little power. Get it to your power. You walk where you are about you. I'll point you. I was saying, I am more. I'll point you. Yeah, I'll point you. 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 Yeah, that we go. I'll point you. I'll point you. I'm gonna go and I'll point you. I'll point you.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. So, want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your evening with us right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. The city, the country, and diaspora on edge. Who's who? The pick is about to unleash in few hours in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Never been seen to ever in history of Unity Party. Joseph Boyka is about to make his announcement. That is unfolding. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe, Joa, Ophelia, Viria, and of course, our woman Aliyu Sambat, Ibrahim Bango. Welcome to the show. This is the Liberia Public Radio, Diaspora Informative News Outlet. And very shortly, the program will get underway. The city is on edge. VP Joseph Newman Boyka of the Unity Party is about to make a consequential decision to vacate the Queen. Good evening, to welcome Politics in the Making to Mr. Swin. Welcome in the house of LPR. I am your host and Angot Afonso Zienso. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. This is All Things Considered. All Things Considered comes your way every Wednesday right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Ooh, let's get a ball rolling. Good evening, good evening, good evening. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am Afonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Welcome to this evening program, All Things Considered. The city, the country, the diaspora community on edge. This is the building that has been heavily contested in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. This is the official residence of the president and the one who was elected as president of the Republic of Liberia. That's your official residence, the executive mansion built in the 60s by the Vietnamese, is still standing in a heartbeat of the nation's capital, Monrovia. Well, 2017 has come and gone. The 2023 consequential debate is on the land. The former vice president, two-term vice president of the Republic of Liberia, is about to make a consequential political decision. What is happening at this hour inside the bare weight of the Unity Party? It's in order. The ANC is still keeping the cards to their chest, waiting to see the announcement of Jose Newman Boyka, expected to unleash Friday. Liberia Public Radio crew making a massive preparation to also bring you that coverage to join other sister network. But what is the conversation ongoing inside? Who is the new attack dog of the Unity Party? These a minute. We are getting a signal now. Something is about to unleash. We have no idea. Politicians, the uncertainties of politicians is a lot. So we will keep it to our chest until it becomes official. But we have to discuss this issue. It is about Liberia. It is about your country. And so you do have a shared responsibility. We bring it to you fair, balanced, proportionate. We do not sanction voices. All views are expressed, willing to be expressed on this network. As long as it keep in the confines of our own rule, respect for one another, that is fine. You can do whatever you want to do. Do not cross our rail land. We have our own set laws. Civility is the hallmark of this network. And this is why we are not judgmental. We give people the responsibility, the ability to decide and make decisions. Very shortly, the panelists across the country will be joining me. Some are supporters of Ambassador Jose Newman Boyka. What is happening? We are being told sources from the ANC are keeping close eyes on the process. So what is happening? What will Boyka be doing? Is it going to be the last time around 2017 when all eyes were set for Boyka to make a nomination, which many people expected? Bazonga Finland, it went in the corner of Emmanuel Nokwe. That did not resonate. We have no idea. Nyombli Kangalaren, Jeremiah Bant, political talk show host, Henry Costa, they are all in the race. Ultimately, the chief decider is Ambassador Jose Newman Boyka. And we'll be discussing it. And of course, you Liberians, you also have a part. This is the building they have been heavily contested. That's the executive mansion. I too want to go in that building. When you are in that building, well, for the most part, you are the principal deciders of the country and you make some consequential decisions. But who are they? How is the process being played out? How are Liberians reviewing this year's elections, despite of the bond shared by the American ambassador before taking off the country? He has set the dinner table. Literally, nothing like that we have seen happening. We are taking a different view, different look. Why is this happening like this? Can this be done to America? Can America go to China and do it? At the closeness of a major consequential election, GOL has been fired from the back by Uncle Sam. The conversation is about to lead. Welcome to the show. I'm Afonso Z. And so these are the faces so far that are heavily contesting. And we will be having a conversation right here. Who's who in the vice presidential slot? Never like this we have been saying in the history. We want to welcome the Honorable Sir Joseph, who believes to be the front runner, we have no idea, of the Maserati seat for this year election. Well, we're going to get a show going very shortly. Soon our panelists join us here. And we will be getting some other uncensored recordings. We have a team from Greater Liberia, Banga, Bon County. Some frustration being expressed by those going through the electoral, the voter registration process, how that plays out. Many of these going to be our conversation here this evening, right here on the Liberia Public Radio. I am your host and chief anchor, Afonso Z. And so welcome to the show, and please hit the share button and invite someone at your company. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. These are the faces, and this is the building that is at stake. All eyes on this building. Who going to be the chief occupant of the executive mansion? The incumbent President Dr. George Manawia just went for a retreat in one of the battlegrounds, Grand Bassa County. Before that, the Embassy of the United States of America in the diplomatic enclave of Mama Point released a report. It's been hair-scratching. The opposition's statements are coming out. In the midst of that, Unity Party of Joseph Boyka. Remember, Unity Party of Helen Johnson Sirleaf and that of Joseph Boyka. We yet to know the distinction between those two, but Joseph Boyka, now fair to mention, is the head of the Unity Party, and he's about, in a couple of hours, the city, diaspora Liberians on edge. His supporters, his attack doors been calling on the president to make a nomination. The ANC folks are telling us Alexander Bennett Cummings and the ANC are keeping close eyes on the process. LPR across reporters, contributors, analysts, other network, they are all having this conversation. Who is about to steal the show? The breakaway child, one-time ally, is making another bizarre turn his back to CDC. Apparently, it didn't hold. Now is giving his support to Joseph Boyka. Prince Yomi Johnson more or less has become a tag dog, making predictions to undercut the decisions if the vice president were to somersault. We saw that in the 2017 when all eyes was on Gak family were in the making. Emmanuel Nikwe came into the factor. Prince Johnson now is more or less speaking out what is happening. What is the final conversations in the Beltway inside the Unity Party of Joseph Boyka and Helen Johnson Sirleaf? You cannot ignore her into this process. Well, let's bring the conversation right here in the diaspora as Liberians. If you are in Liberia, we say good morning. Thank you for sharing your evening to your morning hour with us and a part of the world. Senior analyst Octavius Jones Malice is still sitting on the edge, but I've been told he's going to be making his major pronouncement here as well. I have no idea what they're going to be saying. We have the liberal progressive based in Sacramento, California. It's a strong supporter of Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boyka. Koto Jalabalayans is based in New Jersey. Sissy Goyo is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But now joining me from my own ocean state of Rhode Island is Jones Octavio Malice. Is a senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio, senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. He's here this evening. We are about to spin the ball. Welcome to the show. Let me bring in Malice Jones here. Time is fast. Spin is 8:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Octavius Jones Malice, Octavio. We're going to mix it up here this evening because a lot is unfolding, so we want to know what is going on. Major decision is about to be made. I've been told that you already get a hint of it as well. The conversation is about to get interesting. The most liberal on this network who support the candidacy of Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boyka. Though he doesn't know him, they don't know him, but from the front, he has become the town crier and the trumpet of the Unity Party. Here in Malice Jones, this guy is a supporter, is a car-holding member of the Liberty Party. Liberty Party that has been broken into two segments, the Belete wing and the Nyombli Kanga wing. But Nyombli Kanga is being left by the wayside Orange Grove area of vehicle now can again to Morovia. So Liberal Progressive now is seeking shelter, displaced politically with Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boyka. Let me just bring him in here in the interest of fairness. The Liberal Progressive, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So, and, thank you. Good evening, Mr. So. Thank you very much for welcome to Doc. I think can we call you Doc now? It's official. Should we still say
do not start trouble here? You have major things for
so I am speaking to the good doctor, soon to be the good doctor. So the last time when he was here, he told us he was going to take care of business. And I was wondering, now that he's back, I suppose the business has been taken care of. So should we now refer to him as Doc or soon to be Doc? That's all that I'm saying. Well, good evening, and I say thank you very much for having me.
You are not a spokesperson for Mali Jones. If you want to speak for Ambassador Boyka, if you get a tip off now, let us know. We intend not to have a distraction.
And you did mention me as being somebody out of part. I am member of Liberty Party USA. I'm a member of Liberty Party Liberia. So the Liberia Liberty Party, they have two factions. Here in the United States, we only have one. And I'm a member of Liberty Party USA. Until they kick me out, I'm still a member of Liberty Party USA.
Okay, let's do that. Liberty Party, we are not talking about Liberty Party. Guys, gentlemen, good evening. Welcome the country, diaspora and Liberians on edge. Never have we seen before like this for the issues of the vice presidency to be so much confrontational, and has taken the political conversation to the media space in Liberia. Finally, the plea of the people has happened. So let me bring in Mali Jones here, perhaps to get an independent side, because I know the liberal way exactly you're going to be going, but I'm going to give you the opportunity here. Mal Jones, why this publicity? The United Party have been very successful, been very calculative strategically to keep the conversations of the media in their favor, in their realm, to keep everybody on edge, to keep the focus on Unity parties to be the main challenger to the ruling establishment. What are they doing this?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Moderator, and I also want to thank Mr. Tu and the rest of the analysts for holding the ground and for keeping our doors open. And before I get to our analytical question, I first of all want to address Mr. Tu's question, and I think he's been keeping me in prayer. And it would just be fair enough, to give him his due day and make some clarification. First of all, I'm back, and I just want to say that the academic territory before me is shorter now than the one I have covered. And very soon we shall be crossing the Rubicon. And when it happens, I'm sure the news will be broken right on the very platform. So the whole exercise is still in progress, and it's not an event. I will be going back again, but I'm sure on one of these days, there will be a very interesting breaking news, not in the too distant future.
Not in the too distant future.
Yes.
Okay.
So back to the
Are you
question.
going to break the news? Have you decided politically as to where you are leaning, or not yet as well?
I think from what is unfolding in Liberia now, it's even making it difficult for me to make a decision right now. Yes, it's even making things very complicated right now.
Okay, let's return to base. Why
Yes.
the Unity Party keeping the country, the media, Liberians, electors on edge? What is the strategy for that politically?
Well, I hope the ambassador, Joseph Boakai, I hope he really making some good calculation. Because it's like his membership, his diehard, his well-wishers, ears are all open, and the dragging of feet on the VP, I think, is quite sensitive at this time in our Liberian politics for two reasons. One, I don't think it is just grabbing anybody to be your VP. That one. Two, I believe to become a VP, you must have a constituent. Now it's about time to pull the votes. So I don't think it's just about just anybody. I think that's where the problem is coming from. But for the VP, he's on record for circumventing some sensitive in-house agreement. It happened the last time in 2017, as you just rightly said, about Nukwe and another candidate, and he decided to bypass even his own in-house executive and handpicked Mr. Newquist. It brought some chaos in the Unity Party, right? So I think Joseph Barker will have to calculate where, or else he will again be shooting himself in the legs, and that is going to be very, very severe. Furthermore, the Unity Party, according to inside sources, we have got two Unity Party currently: the Helen Johnson factor and the Joseph Boakai factor. And that is a very, very serious complication right now. I yield.
Okay, the liberal. Let me bring in the liberal here. The liberal, the guy you support, they are politically to keep the conversation, to have this whole conversation pivot in their direction. In politics, you always want to keep the media talking about you. That helps to elevate. The brand name is already there. Why all of this long time? What you think was the process? What sort of vetting was that? What was he calculating in your mind?
Well, Mr. So, thank you very much. As I stated, I don't know these people, and so for me to sit here tonight to engage in a topic of trying to analyze perhaps what is happening in their mind, it would not be fair on my part, nor would it be fair to the audience. But what I can say to this is this. If this thing is not handled correctly, and if it's what I'm reading here, if it comes to pass, then perhaps Ambassador Bakai will later on look back on that decision and perhaps feel that that was the downfall of his presidency, to be candidacy, to be honest with you. Reason I'm saying this is that not because the senator is a well-learned man, the senator is a very decent person, but who is holding the senator's hand? Another senator, Senator Johnson. So Johnson is now shopping around, so to speak, to see who will play ball with him. So Ambassador Barkov, being the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, who is well known all over the world, and he also is not a stranger to Liberian history, will allow Prince Johnson to now try to take some sort of a.
We're now opening the line. Yeah. Please just hold on. When we're to open the line, we announce it. Go ahead, Libra.
Will now try to take center stage on this most important event. I think is somehow going to dilute the good progress that we're all hoping that the ambassador will make in this process. If you do this, what I'm reading, if it becomes true, then there are two things that are happening here. Just like President Weah, who, with the support of Senator Johnson, won Nima County, of course, but was unable to carry out the mandate of Liberians, many Liberians, in terms of the war and economic crime, quote, establishment. So now, if you have Ambassador Bakai taking the handpicked person to be the second to him, then should we, as supporters and admirers, should we not believe that he would then have the mindset or even the will to even convince the legislature to establish a rule that will be able to implement this Accra Accord, one of the Accra Accord pivotal movement in it, where is they have to have a war crime economic code being established. For me, if this is what I'm hearing, if it's become true, then I don't see it. I just don't see it, because I don't see him being able to establish that, knowing fully well the first person that most likely will be called will be Senator Johnson, and Senator Johnson has never welcomed this process. So, Mr. So, I think it's very interesting. So I don't know yet, but I'm waiting to see.
You're waiting to see, and we're going to be playing Soviet. There seems to be a nervousness within the establishment of Unity Party Prince Johnson, for whatever reason, did not really get his political will in the first term, and he made it clear on the sister network, and he has been very vehement. Politics is all about interest. More or less, he has become a tag dot. So, Jones, let me bring you in here. The actions of Senator Prince Johnson been very vocal now, really literally going attacking the government of things that are happening. Even though he has been there, he's been a senator, he also has the right. There are various committees that could call people to answer questions. Much was said and done. He's out there now like a real a wolf attacking. Is it fair to say there is an inside work deal being done with the vice president? This is why Prince Johnson is doing what he's doing?
Well, partly yes, partly no. I think the Liberal raised two important points here. We really don't know what's going on inside. We are relying on unreliable sources and direct sources from inside there. But to address your question, I think Senator Johnson, he's in the right church, but he's sitting on the wrong bench.
Explain.
One, he's in a political party and he's trying to look for an alliance. Joseph Boakai is not a stranger to Johnson. In 2017, he traded in WIA for the ambassador. All right. He praised him, he welcomed him, he welcomed WIA, he accepted WIA, and later on, yes, he now decided to fight. He now decided to take the back seat to go in his direction. But here is my take. Senator Johnson is already on record, on a sanction by the United States government. A part of that sanction is associated with this 16-year brutal civil war, even though they link it to corruption and other things. So in short, Senator Johnson is stigmatized in Liberia right now. He's stigmatized in our politics. So whosoever political party try to associate himself with Senator Johnson will have to be very, very mindful, because the State Department and the United States government I'm very sure they are concerned to know who are Senator Johnson's associates, political associates. And so Boakai got to be very, very circumspect about that. Or else Boakai, Johnson coming into his space will help to even stigmatize him. And that can be very devastating for his political future.
Devastating. I'm not sure whether the Liberal Progressive is quite on board on that, but I do know he will have his own reservation. But when you are really trying to go gutter or very strong on Ambassador Boakai, then you and the Liberal are going to have a divided role. So I want to welcome our folks. Gabriel Jyoti is watching from Grangide, our local radio station, Peace Station in Totan. That's the boy of the Liberal Progressive, the man from Tota. Gabriel, thank you. And the rest, Prosper, Terry, to all of our guys, we say thank you. The Liberal, let me just bring you in here. Are you communicating with Boakai or what?
No, Mr. So these people don't know me. I don't know them. I'm just an admirer. That's all.
Okay. Is there any political risk here? You heard Jones outline, and we cannot ignore the fact. There is an Ellen Johnson Sirleaf wing of the Unity Party. I'm wondering how extensive this conversation. I talked to somebody late this evening, just before coming on air, from Cyclopedia, working with one of the local radio stations. There seems to be a lot of laughter and other conversation ongoing. We don't know yet. We're going to hold. We have no any real information as to who really going to be Ambassador Joseph Newman pick here. But I want you, let's listen to this, and perhaps it can give us a clue what really is going on.
We'll be from Nimba. You know, I've contested election twice to be president. I won't say they cheated, even though I got 2 votes in my church. But I will say, whatever you want to do in life, and it's not in God's plan, you cannot succeed. So I didn't succeed in 2 elections I was involved in. So now, as I'm growing older and older, the older you grow, the closer you are to your heavenly home. But I want to see Nima producing the vice president as a gateway to the highest office. Because this old man is our father, Rescue 1, and he's going to be Nimi, Rescue 2, from Nimba County. That is a blessed thing for us. We all know that this regime, this current regime has failed, completely failed. The most closest ally of Liberia is the great United States, the superpower of the world. And America is working along with other powers.
Folks, a gorilla turned politician. He's speaking in code. Rescue 1, Rescue 2. Our old man, my guess here is he making direct or indirect reference to Ambassador Boyka. His political ambitions, he wants someone from Nima County. And there have been extensive conversations inside. Prince Johnson giving support. It's not going to be just for ministerial stuff here. Where are we at this point? He's coming out. He's speaking. What is he trying to do here at the Liberal?
Yeah, Mr. So I think if what I'm reading, if it becomes real and a reality, in other words, if the senator is selected by Ambassador Barker to be the running mate, then I think there are 2 things here in my mind as well. One is what is happening here. If that comes to pass, then Ambassador Barker have now once again extended the political life of Prince Johnson in Nima County. Because Prince Johnson in Nima County joined CDC, joined with CDC and brought President Weah to power, hoping that Nimadians will be given huge power, in other words, put them in government, ministry, and other places. That didn't happen. A few months back, before Prince Johnson decided to break away from them, he's always breaking away anyway, so it's no big deal on that one. But before that, he had an extensive conversation, public conversation, where he was very much in disagreement with the president and his administration, the way Nimadian was being treated according to him. So if Ambassador Barker will now do this, then he also extending the political, because if Prince Johnson was not able to produce from having had that conversation with Nimadians, that if we put ourselves behind Ambassador Weah, who was then ambassador at the time, and once he's successful, many of you young people will find job in his administration. Many of you educated Nimadians will find position, minister, deputies, and all the kind, and they didn't happen. So the disappointment was there, number one. So now, perhaps, I don't know the deal, but perhaps this is might be the conversation. But here's another interesting thing here. If this happened, and I'm speculating here, I'm very good at that, and I will do that. And if they do go for second round, and Ambassador Barker having to be another person along with President, we have to go second round. If this selection becomes real, then that will give room to many of the people that will be in the ANC camp who usually or normally might not want to be associating themselves with it with a unity party will not have reason to say because of Prince Johnson, I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go with the injured that I know than to get the devil or whatever it is they call it. So that it could be another platform that people will be jumping ship to say, I'm not going to go because this guy, he cannot be part of this ruling coalition. And I don't want that. Because of that, you have people, ANC establish themselves. And remember now, many of the ANC people are also sedition. But you will call them independent sedition, I will call them.
How you got to that conclusion?
Mr. So that's how they always have independent. There's independent COP, independent. When they want to break away, they always calling themselves independent. So I will call them. Many of the ANC members that are those that are member of CDC used to be members of CDC are considered the independent sedition, and now they are with ANC. No, but Mr. So now these people, because of this, they will now have reason to go back home. To say, I can't deal with this. This man betray, according to them, betray the process, and this man should be indicted, and he's around here. And now Ambassador Baka now giving him another long line life, a political line life. I don't want to deal with it. So these independent sedition will now have a strong and suitable phase now to go back home. That is another disaster in the making.
Another disaster in the making. What do you think is going through the minds of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka? Can it be a twist, a bizarre announcement we want to see? Prince Johnson has been very vocal. It is a clear indication when you go through the lines and someone who understands politics, it seems to be there's some sort of a genuine agreement now in the making, because he made it clear, and that's why he left CDC. He's not going to settle for nothing or less. He retired. He put Jeremiah Cohn as the face of the party, but ultimately he is turning the wheel. Jeremiah Cohn, on the other end, he has attacked somebody who is doing his work. Jones, is there any political risk here? You have Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, horse setback token from the Supreme Court decision led by from the ability wing of the Liberty Party. We saw Ambassador Boyka going to a conference, quote unquote, arranged by some supporters. We do not know this. We're still wondering how can a former vice president go to a meeting that he has no idea about. We have not gotten really detail as to what that meeting was for, who arranged that meeting, were there any effort, nothing. A custard nail was put out there to test the water. The feedback seems to be different depending who you talk to. Is he running a risk here, political risk? Or do you think he has concluded, just in case if he's the next president of the Republic of Liberia, is there a commendation for Nyomli Kanga Lawrence? Because they have been his strong ally. Benana Ure, you can't ignore that. The Costa has been a handbag to Joseph Boyka. So all of that is all interest-based. What happens comes Friday announcement. It doesn't go to Costa way. It doesn't go to Nyomli Kanga way. The guy who just the newborn guy just infiltrated the systems and becomes the Powerball winner. What would happen?
Well, I think Senator Prince Johnson is almost like a sinking ship right now, and he's looking for additional passenger to go down with him in the middle of the sea. But here is my take. I don't know. This move by Joseph Boakai to entertain Johnson, for me, I see it to be a recipe for a political disaster for Joseph Boakai. One, Johnson has portrayed himself as a kingmaker right now. try to decide the number 2 man for Joseph Boakai. If this whole thing was the other way around, where Joseph Boakai had just engaged this guy, Kuhn, the Senator Kuhn, directly, I don't think we'll be having that kind of conversation here. Yes.
Why do you think Senator Johnson inserted himself into this conversation?
This is where the mind is confused. This is where I don't understand why Senator Johnson is playing a middleman role here. This is why I can't really understand what is he looking for, what he trying to achieve. Because Kuhn is there, he's part of the party. Joseph Boakai would have a link with this guy directly and have conversation with him. But I see Johnson coming in as a king's maker. This is where I can really understand what's going on. Yes. You see? So it's like he trying to appeal to Kuhn to either take this position and telling the Joseph Boakai this is the best choice. But I think, hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think you just brought in Yomli Kanga. Yes, Yomli Kanga, they have got this in-house battle going on. But Yomli Kanga traveled to the state frequently. She's now on the watch list. She's now being sanctioned. That's where I'm really coming from with this whole thing.
She doesn't have a party. On the other flip side, she doesn't have a...
And besides that, according to the provision censor report that was approved by His Excellency President Weah, I think the female are 49.6%. That's a huge chunk that Yomli Kanga can get into and play around and make a case for Joseph Boakai ascendancy to the executive mansion. Because trust me, if Prince Johnson continue to play this game, so many diehard for Joseph Boakai will back off. And the Henry Johnson faction is going to back off.
Let me hold you there. Okay.
Yes.
The Liberal.
Yes.
Talking about Senator Prince Johnson. Politics there are a lot of uncertainty in politics. Nothing is guaranteed. And Prince Johnson is very calculative, very strategic in doing his stuff. Nobody thought we would come to this sort of conversation that we are having today. I am concerned because he has undercut a lot of stuff. He getting out. His aim is to get someone from Nima County. Is this really bothering the CDC, you think? I saw with Prince Johnson's, all of that. He went at the vice president, but the vice president was very mature, did not even go there and say, hey, I'm contesting, Senator Johnson is seeking election, I'm not going to go there. The vice president didn't respond. He was anticipating that if when the vice president respond, he was going to come back. That did not happen. Who is really watching this in real time, the politics? The ANC, the CDC, the Tier 1 say Gonglo. Who is watching who's to be a pig? And what impact would that have, you think?
Mr. So, those of us that have been following...
We're going to be putting the number out here quickly to Sam and others, but just give a few minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. So, some of us have been following Prince Johnson for a very long time, from the initial stage of the war. My connection with the Namibians, it went as high as people who were some of the spokespeople of Prince Johnson during the war were like uncle to me. I live in the same house with many of them, and so I know more about this Prince Johnson guy than many people. But besides that, let me just give you one instances of his manipulating process. During the war, he went to the barracks. He went to meet with Doe, and there were people in the barrack. Some of the fighters wanted to seize him, and he told Doe, "You and myself were on the same side.
That gorilla.
Yeah, exactly. And don't believe him. Don't believe him. And when he went back from the barracks, when he went back, there's a video of him boasting. I feel fully he thinks that yeah, myself, it seems like your way you will see. That's who he's always been. That's Prince Johnson right there. And fast forward, we're here. Okay. Prince Johnson, during the time of the TRC engagement, Prince Johnson made a statement, very interesting statement. The people said, he said, and I'm just paraphrasing, that they were more here. She the one was giving people money to bring gun here. And then she said, we will wait for her book. So that her after her book would tell her how she got involved in the war. And y'all want to wait for her book too. And that was it. He didn't come out to explain. And the reason I'm bringing these things up, Mr. So, Prince Johnson, for me, he's always put himself in the middle of situation that is of big interest to many people. To many people. But the point here, Mr. So, if this selection do take place, and I think it's also going to hurt the image of the Senator Cohn himself. Because if you listen to Senator Cohn, a young man who has been around, a young man who has struggled a lot to be to where he is. In other words, Senator Cohn did not depend on anybody to make him to where he wants to be. Senator Cohn has the power to move things. But with this Prince Johnson, what he has done is to not only lock Ambassador Bakai up completely from Nima County, because now if Ambassador Bakai make another decision, Nibanians now will not move from behind Prince Johnson and say, oh, Prince Johnson lied to us. They will say that Ambassador Bakai don't want Nimbadian, and therefore Nimbadian will have nothing to do with Ambassador Bakai. So Prince Johnson, instead of him to wait until that, even if you have that kind of inside knowledge, what was the purpose of having a press conference? What was the purpose of having that kind of audio out there? In other words, this is what's going to happen. And now Ambassador Bakai, even if he wasn't thinking like that, how now does he convince Nimbadian that was not my thinking? Unless he can come out now and distance himself quickly. And even Senator Cohn himself should also, if he wants to be the vice president, they both have to come out and distance themselves. Because if not,
distance themselves from what?
Distance himself from the statement from Prince Johnson.
How can this is where you and I things always falls apart.
And I will speak my mind. You just what happened to Tucker Carlson. Your conservative ideas, just what happened to Tucker Carlson. I told you before, we're watching you. So bring it on. I'm ready. The liberal is ready.
What does Tucker Carlson has to do?
Because your conservative ideas, you want to now bamboozle me to accepting this is where you must say always fall apart, as though your conservative idea is some kind of superior to my liberal view. Please, we're not going to go there. Let me make my point. If Senator Cohn, who is because President Prince Johnson have selected him to be the leader of the party. So at this point, if you select somebody to be the leader of the party and he's not a muppet for you to be following and playing the rope around, because now if these two people don't come out and distance themselves, that means Senator Cohn is not the true leader of this political party. The person who's running the show will be Prince Johnson. So in order for Senator Cohn to be the man who I know he is, you have to distance yourself and let the process play out. Because if not, they're going to be considered as puppet to Senator Johnson. Then let's take the international stand on that. Someone who Senator Johnson had now introduced and publicly asking Joseph Bakai to pick. Now, what do you think the international community is going to think about that? Pay and play, Mr. So. And so Senator Kuhn and Ambassador Barker will do themselves a good favor at this time to distance themselves from Senator Johnson.
All right, the last phrase here. I'm sorry to say this here, but the liberal is always on the other side of the wall. The creations, the Jeremiah Kuhn coming into being, coming to preeminence right now, is the work of Senator Prince Johnson. Politics, you have to confide to trust people. Why you think Donald Trump had people like Kelly Conway, Steve Bannon, and all of those folks? The fixer, formerly Michael. But here is the thing. Prince Johnson's action was calculative, and he really got ahead of the game. He knew very well. He decided to create a political controversies, this political caravan. That's what he built. I'm going to step aside, knowing full well whatever that was happening within the ruling establishment wasn't going to right. He said, hey, Ekun is a smart guy. I have listened to him several times. He talked with a lot of sense. Let be honest here. I listened to him even from the UL when they went for that deliberation. He articulated well.
Yes.
He always empathized himself with the plight of the people.
Yes.
He's a guy who always, he has a lot of control in his talking, very calculative, very strategic.
Yes.
So,
but Mr. Moderator,
his son. He said his son, right?
Mr. Moderator, I got a question for you.
Yeah, come in. Let me just end my point. You just
Okay.
figure out your question.
Right.
This liberal, sometimes he gets people off the rail here, and I don't want to do that here this evening. To say Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kuhn. I hear you call me to be vice president. I want to be vice president. You would tell Jeremiah Kuhn should distance himself. He's claiming the
distance himself from Prince Johnson, not from Ambassador Barker.
They create. Prince Johnson created
and this is why
Jeremiah Kuhn, whether you like it or not. Every other thing Prince Johnson, he say he's a godfather. He is the founder of the party. He steps. The reason Prince Johnson pulled back was to create this political conversation that we are having right now, put somebody ahead as a ceremonial person, and get on the throat of the CDC and all of the other political parties. And that's exactly what he did. And that's the conversation we are having. We'll soon be opening the line. Let me just go to Jones. Jones, are you there?
Yeah.
I'm getting a feedback.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you all set?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. The question I wanted to ask you, Mr. Moderator, is that have we asked ourselves as panelists, why is it that Senator Kuhn is not speaking for himself? This is a guy I've listened to. I see a lot of wisdom.
Yes.
In the House, I saw him for the first time, and he took the floor. I really admire him.
In the Senate, you mean?
Yes, in the Senate. So my question to us on this platform tonight, why is it that the guy not speaking for himself?
Hear what I know.
Yes.
Hear what I know.
Mm-hmm.
He been talking very quietly. His tone been very political, but he been very strategic.
Okay.
When his whole name surfaced, I reached out. He appeared here before on this network back then, being a couple of time. But when we start hearing his name, when Prince Johnson start calling his name, when he started appearing, we reached out. And he said, Alfonso, I will speak at the appropriate time. And so I asked him, Senator, what is the context? What is the meaning of appropriate? The time is not appropriate. We are hearing your name, a lot of conversation. And mind you, all he been saying, at some point in time, I'll make a decision. That decision did not come. Apparently, I'm saying what is unfolding now. There was a backyard conversation going out when Prince Johnson was considering the fight of giving political endorsement to Unity Party, and subsequently maybe pushing also this Kuhn guy. Look, Kuhn wants to jump in the race. You have to do something. If you can't do it,
Mr.
who don't fear no fault.
Mr. So, this is what I'm going to tell you, and I truly believe that your conservative continue to, we want to be straight talkers. And conservatives are not known for that. You'll try to fool us, but we're not stupid anymore. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You've been listening to, in fact, you had interview with him. He's very intelligent, very smart young man, hard worker.
Not come by.
Mr. So, please, the liberal is on the floor. That's why happened to Mr. So, the liberal is speaking. And this is why Tucker Carlson was not listening and he's gone. Mr. So, the liberal is speaking.
Are you threatening me? So I will be gone?
I'm just telling you, your conservative, we got your number. Your conservative, we got your number. The liberal is on the floor. Let me make my point.
No, but liberal, I did not even finish my point. But anyway,
he just inserted himself into
maybe the liberal gets something on his mind. He doesn't want it to disappear. So come in.
Thank you. Thank you for yielding, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate it on more. But anyhow, let me say this, Mr. So. Look, Mr. Kuhn and Prince Johnson picking Kuhn is not by accident either. Kuhn is well known in Nima County, and Prince Johnson is quite aware of his popularity. So bringing in Kuhn to then becomes the leader of the party, it's not by accident. It is merely based on Kuhn's ability to lead. Now, Prince Johnson, like I said before, this is the guy who's always like to manipulate things. If he was sincere about Kuhn being a true leader, you have a backdoor channel, you talk to the ambassador, and you make your point known clearly what exactly you want, and you're done with it. And now, then the Senator Kuhn and the ambassador will not be talking without you injecting yourself. But there will be no way that even if the senator and the ambassador decide to appear together, there will be no way that Prince Johnson name will not be brought up. So Prince Johnson is now linked with this process, unless he's not being selected. But as long they select him, Prince Johnson will be linked to this process throughout. Then the smart people among us will say Prince Johnson is manipulating, and Prince Johnson is a puppet master of this. If Ambassador Obaka become president, that Prince Johnson will now be known as a godfather of this administration. Which, of course, it was one of the reasons why, because he was trying to do that to Ambassador Weah, President Weah, and he was not being successful. And now, because of some of those things, that he decided to go home, take a ball and go home. Now he's coming back on the field. He can't play football, but he's coming back on the field because he got fine football and he got fine Jesse. So he coming on the field now and say, "Yaman Jesse, Yaman football, yeah. You want to play? You got to pick me. You see, you can't play. I will pick you and put you on the field. Let us use your ball." He don't want to do that, Mr. Okay. So this is Mr. Prince Johnson.
So let me just conclude my point, and you come in with our color. Mm-hmm. I think what I see here is that Ambassador Boaka is vulnerable right now. This is what I'm sensing. He's vulnerable right now. So he's prepared to go with any calculation. But here is my take. Is Kuhn coming in as an individual, or he's coming in to represent this party, Prince Johnson party? If the answer is yes, then that's coalition party right there. Then Prince Johnson has succeeded.
Of course. He's coming as an MRD or MDR or whatever.
Then if the answer is yes, the party has been struggling all along to be legitimized. That will be the beginning of its legitimacy.
You got the point. So I'm about to go to the callers here, but quickly here.
Okay.
Ambassador Boyka.
Yeah.
Should he sleep with 2 eyes or leave 1 eye hoping with Prince Johnson in his political?
You will not sleep. You will not even sleep.
Mr. Moderator, there is no way he can even sleep. As long Prince Johnson is alive and he put this thing in place, he will control Kuhn from start to finish, no matter what. And as I said, I use a word here. I said the ambassador is vulnerable right now.
Okay. Let's hear from our callers. Let's go to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
How you doing, Mr. So? This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Okay, let's hear it here. Everybody glued to what is happening in Liberia. Unity Party really doing what it's supposed to do to keep the conversation going. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. You know, I've been so anxious to call in the show because a lot of great points have been coming across, especially from Mr. Miley Jones and Mr. Simpson B2. I think you guys have really put a deep perspective on it that some of it myself I wasn't even thinking about. But let me just say this first of all before I even make my comment. The hypocrisy of Joseph Human Boycott and the power that the people around him has is something that we have to look deeper into. Remember the old man said he wanted to find somebody who is like-minded, like him, someone who is integrous, someone who has the integrity like he does and believe in some of the same values that he shares. You know, my personal belief is Joseph Yuma Boyka wanted what a lawyer named Kofi Woos. I think that's the first thing that he really admired and wanted to be his vice president. But he was talked out of it. So that's why we heard Kofi Woos' name being, as one of the surprising names that was on the short list. Because I think that's the kind of character that Joseph Yuma Boyka really wanted. But the people in Unity Party talked him out of it because, quote unquote, he wasn't popular. He was not a quote unquote politician that has a lot of wit. But let me just say this in terms of the hypocrisy. The UN sanction when it came out for Prince Johnson, I think one of the things they said inside it was that he shouldn't be doing any kind of quid pro quo for political power. The same thing he did with Ellen Johnson and we are.
Okay.
The United Party people were talking, you see, that's true, that this, that. But now he's going, more than likely, it hasn't been announced, but more than likely he's going to get in that political marriage. Look, in that parable, I'm going to say, I just thought about it in my head, but I would say, when you see a woman that's very, very fine,
I agree
and
with you.
she's single, be worried. Because a woman so fine and no man running beyond her, there's something wrong. So when you see a political party, you see a man like Prince Johnson, and you go gain a marriage ring, and he's actually shopping himself when he's supposed to be somebody that all the political parties are supposed to be flocking to. When you see George Weah stepping away from him, when you see Cummings being apprehensive to get close to him, and you Joseph Boyka, you jump into your arms, you're putting yourself in a future disaster. And I say this because forget about all the politics. But can you imagine Prince Johnson wanting to be president so much that once Jeremiah Cole becomes president and Prince Johnson is right there, a heartbeat away from having control over the president and having to be the president who would be Jeremiah Cole chief advisor? Do you know how scared Joseph Parker would be for his life in terms of what could happen? Yeah, what could happen to him? So my point here is we're not stupid. Let's not think that Nima County is the only county that will win election. Joseph Nima Parker has a large constituent in Lopa, and he lost election. So Nima is not the end of the all. You can't put all your chips on the table just so you can win Nima. You have other places you got to consider. You know,
Okay.
you got Grand Paso, you got the entire southeastern region. You have the middle part of the country. All of these places, if you take somebody who is closely associated with Prince Johnson, who is widely unpopular outside of Nima County because of his involvement in the war, it could have some drawbacks. So you can't put all your chips on the table if it's not the right person that's coming from Nima. And I think Kuhn, with his association with Prince Johnson, is not the right person. You may win Nima, but you may lose a lot of votes elsewhere because of his association with Johnson.
Thank
I
you
will
so
say that.
much. Thank you so much. Well, folks, the number is out there. It's also available via WhatsApp. Let's hear from you, whether you are Unity partisan, you are independent, or whatever you are. I mean, this whole conversation here, let's go to here. Let's get to our man here. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So and the liberal. How you doing?
Good. Let's hear from you, Mikey.
First, let me say thanks to for every one of you guys for the show tonight. It's been a long time I haven't done the show. I just want to point out something quickly before I leave.
Okay.
I want to believe strongly that most of the Liberian people back home, they don't really interested in our World Crime Code again. What I believe is that Liberian people really want somebody who can provide a job, things that will improve their life. Because if Liberian people really want their World Crime Code, I don't think they will be gravitating to people like Prince Johnson and hailing him, because I don't care how we discuss the issue. If Prince Johnson were in the camp of comics, it would have been a different story. If Prince Johnson had stayed on George Weah's side, it would have been a different story. People are only saying it because right now he's not on the side, and because of that, that's why I see so much of hypocrisy in the whole thing. And I don't know, even though my own man is supporting, he doesn't have that kind of weight, Congolo. I believe that Congolo, my own man in the race right now. I concluded yesterday, that my own man in the race. So I'm waiting for a VP. Yeah, party will carry it over. Yeah. I just want to point out that if Prince Johnson has stayed with George Weah, nobody gonna be talking this thing we're talking right now. And you're gonna go to Comey. Remember, Prince Johnson said Comey gave him 50 grand for that. He had to go to his university. So this brother here, people only bashing on him right now because he's not on the side, and it's bad. Let's stop all the hypocrisy. Let's just go to the election.
I think that's a very good observation. Everybody protects his or her own little alligator.
Yeah, everybody.
When it's in their favor, it's cool. But when it gets on the other side, then resentment by bitterness or comes about. Prince Johnson, That's
why I've observed seriously, because years back, Prince Johnson held George Weah hand. The whole of CDC black were upside down. Prince. The moment he stepped back, they start calling him all kind of name, threatening him. He went on the other side. The Unity Party people are complaining too when he left on the side, John CDC. Today he on the Unity Party
side. So you want to just let me know. I know you told us Wednesday.
So let's just forget about this. And if Prince Johnson, Prince Johnson, Kong, Unity Party people who supported Baga because they want to be president, they should support and forget about all the A because this I can't go there. No, if you want a man, support him. If you want a man, don't cause no out here. If you don't want him, you come to Congo side. We want you. Y'all get wait until we can speak on a VP, then we can discuss the issue on the other side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Jones.
Yeah.
Mackie, he has a valid point. We are having all of these conversations. If you are going either the other side, you see Unity, now the ANC flipping up, saying whatever they say. But the politicians in Liberia, I've not seen any politicians who is willing to take a risk. I've not seen any politicians reject somebody to say, oh, because of so they are not having. When it happens, they say, well, we can't, every vote counts. You saw Barack Obama here. John McCain took a microphone for the person. Everybody directly, indirectly, they are embraced their own little alligator, and they have been very, very, very much protective of that. So Prince Johnson, he supported Helen Johnson, the president. It didn't work out. Now the president, and he has pivoted to Joseph Boyka. Yesterday, the Unity Partisans said they bashed him, they slammed him, and all sort of things was happening. Yeah, we add today now, people are giving justifications of whatever decision. We don't know here, but the context, the directions, the way in which Prince Johnson now is speaking is a clear indication that there's some good political arrangements being made.
Okay.
Are we making noise of this for no reason?
I think there are some hypocrisy in this whole thing, but here is the issue. I still feel that Joseph Boyka is still vulnerable, and it's like, I don't want to believe that Senator Johnson has got total monopoly over the 6,221 6,221,841 citizens that live in Nema County. I don't think Prince Johnson has got total monopoly over that entire population. That's one. Two, here is my worry. Assuming by all possible calculation, Kum go as a vice president. And the unforeseeable happen.
Follow lawyer monitor. I will bring you in after our analyst. Lawyer monitor, please. Yeah, go ahead, Jones.
And the unforeseeable just happened, which of course is possible in politics. Then Prince Johnson party will become the party to run Liberia. Can you just imagine that future? Can you just imagine that future? It's something to really ponder about. It's not just the vote. No. God forbid something. In fact, and the ambassador said in one of his interview, he said he just want to go for one term. Okay. So assuming he went for one term, he decided to step down. Then Prince Johnson party. Just imagine that future. Prince Johnson party taking over to run that country. I mean, that's a scary scenario right there.
Okay, get some little cold drink here. Don't care your cholesterol, your blood pressure right here. Don't be like that. Let me go to this caller. Caller, good evening. Are you there?
Yes. How you doing, Mrs. Here?
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Kelvin Garte, calling from Fargo, North Dakota.
Welcome to the show. Let's hear from you, Kevin. Are we making for nothing noise here?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I would say you guys are not making for nothing noise because the politics in NEMA, I think some people are missing the map in NEMA politics. Prince Johnson, 2005, Prince Johnson supported George Weah. George Weah lost the election, the second round. But I think a lot of people can't even, they don't even know that happened before, but they are forgetting. So from that point, Prince Johnson learned his lesson. He will wait and sit and observe and see where the majority are shifting, there where he goes. So that's exactly what Prince Johnson is doing. Prince Johnson is not that popular in NEMA again. I can tell you 2011, when Prince Johnson ran for president, he got good numbers of votes. 2005, the number he got, he didn't get it in 2011 when he ran for president. Prince Johnson, 2011, he raised non-pressing hand up in NEMA for representative. He was able to get 6. He got 6 out of 9. Of course, he got a good numbers too. Then what happened 2017? 2017, Prince Johnson supported, 2011, once he knew that he lost from George Weah, then he shifted to Madam Sadi's second term. And he supported her, she won, because he knew there where the people were going. So 2017, Prince Johnson raised about the same non-pressing hand up for representative. Prince Johnson only got 2. So Prince Johnson's popularity in NEMA is decreasing.
Okay.
So Prince Johnson again, when again raised somebody hand for by-election in Ganta District 1, Jeremiah Kun, including Jeremiah Kun, and they got whipped. So the popularity that people thinking that Prince Johnson can give them number in NEMA, that's what before, but it's not going to happen again. I can tell you for free.
Thank you so
but
much.
what Prince Johnson, again, that Prince Johnson is playing that some people not even focusing on is that Prince Johnson, he doesn't want for Liberty Party, Unity Party to put a candidate against him in NEMA. Prince Johnson is seeking his own interest. He's not seeking anybody's interest. He's not even fighting for Jeremiah Kun or even Joe Biden.
Okay, let me pick up this other call here. Thank you so much. Let's see here who this other caller. Caller, are you there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm calling the participant on the show.
Hello, caller?
Are you getting me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but we're having a background little noise here. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a correction. This is Elvis again.
Yeah, go ahead, Evan. Go ahead quickly.
Prince Johnson was supporting CDC before. As a CDC sympathizer, I want to say this. Prince Johnson was never close to the presidency like he will be if Jeremiah Kun is elected vice president. We made that. The president kept him at an arm's length. He wasn't anywhere close. One of the biggest problems where he didn't have the power that he thought he was going to have in his president government. And I think he was smart as president. We had to do that. So let us not equate. It's not the same thing as Prince Johnson being a supporter of the CDC rather than him having a vice presidential candidate that he controls as a puppet national. It's different. I just wanted to make that point. That's what I called him to add.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back here in continuation with this conversation. I'm Afonso Zianso with the panelists. We'll be right back.
don't only have a limited audience, limited to people who have data and have access to the internet, right? Now we're on radio, so we've expanded the pool of listeners, and because we in LPR are in the business of educating our people, what is political education or academic education or health education. Now we have access to a vast majority of the Liberian population that we can now interact with. And as far as the ambassador goes, I'm excited to hear what he has to say. I hope, and I know.
Okay, that's our own LPR Sissy warrior. So let's have this conversation here. Delibera, are you there?
I am.
Okay, let's have this conversation here. This is quite interesting. What should is ANC closely monitoring what is happening? What are they considering right now, you think?
Well,
After
I'm not
this
too sure.
announcement, will they try to steal the show in a couple of days and Cummings come in order to get that sort of publicity as well?
Well, if Cumming was to come out here and then come out, any of them come out and make any kinds of noise or what I consider noise, or even try to say this, I'm selecting or what have you right now, people are going to think that the person is not serious. Ambassador Baka is now on stage. Let's see how well he's going to perform on his stage. And once his time is done, he's definitely going to milk it all the way to the bank. That's fine. And then, but the interesting thing is, the Comey and his people will also gauge the selection process. Is it going to be messy? Is it going to be straightforward? Is there going? What kinds of political capital they're hoping to gain out of this?
Good morning.
Let me not interrupt you at Delibera. Hold on one second. I think this is a long distance call here. Let's see here. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm on the line.
Okay, Ty. Is that good morning or good afternoon? Where are you calling from? You want to lower your monitor, please?
I'm calling from Liberia now. I'm just to Liberia.
Okay, which part of Liberia are you calling from?
I'm calling from Monrovia.
Morovia. Let's hear from you. Nervousness? Are you nervous? Are you concerned? What is happening? What is your side of the story?
I'm actually confused. As per the analysis being carried on in your studio right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I just want to make a point.
Yeah, sure. Speak your mind.
As per my view concerning the decision of the former vice president, which is the current standard bearer of the Unity Party, to select Senator Jeremiah Kwan. I think that's a decision that is left with him. I think he has perused the political terrain, and I think Kun is the right person as of now, from my own perspective, because electioneering process is about numbers, and I think Jeremiah Kun has the potential to bring sufficient numbers to the table. And that is one key factor I think that Ambassador Boaka is trying to exploit. With the issue of Senator Prince Johnson, I don't want us to dwell on that. Yes, he could be a godfather to Jeremiah Kun, but however, I think Senator Kun is man enough to take decisions, especially decisions that will be in his own interest and decisions that will serve the Liberian people best. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been here for like 4 weeks, and from what I've observed, I think this is the ticket that can oust this government. Any other ticket, yes, might try to put up a fight. Like for example, the Nyombli Bwaka ticket, yes, they will try their best. But I'm telling you, that ticket will not be able to win election in this country.
So you see Kun to be the guy best positioned to remove the Cuban president.
He has yes, he has a stable constituent. He has a stable constituent. A constituent that he can boast of at any time. His county. His support base.
Okay.
Nimba is going to vote for Kun overwhelmingly. I can guarantee that 100%.
I have a question.
All right.
For the caller.
You want to ask him? I think
Yes.
let our people speak and then
Yeah.
we can make analysis after if you want to say go ahead. If you have something you want to say, just go ahead. But yeah,
go ahead.
Good, Sam. Thank you so much for your participation into this program. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Yeah. I think, okay, let's bring in our Sissy Goya here as well. I think they are our callers. Let them, as long as they not say something, they speak their minds, their opinions. I don't think we should nail them politically unless it's something controversial. Then we have to go that. Sister Goya.
Oh,
are you come? Oh.
I just came on the ANC people start hacking my phone. Mr. Mali here. He don't with ANC. How you doing?
The brother hack your phone. The guy here bashing to I want gonglo here in your absence. You're supposed to even ask Mali who been protecting your guy here. Huh? Oh well.
The fun man saw him a firing line, so I had to go with him. I see you in a long time too. How you doing, Mr. Mali?
Yeah, how are you, Mr. Sise?
Oh, okay. You're just getting into this fries. It's better late than never. Look, I'm hearing too Tiawan Gonglo making a major announcement tomorrow. I talked to him. He said, I'm going to call back. I didn't hear, but is he making a major announcement too tomorrow?
Yeah. Yep. Tiawan Gonglo is making a major announcement that he will be interacting with Liberians in places that other presidential candidates have not been before. He's taking to the people to elevate them, let them know that they too deserve the same amount of rights and the same amount of access to security and good governance and medical centers and education. So he's going places that no man has been before and letting the Liberian people know that they matter. So that's the announcement we're making tomorrow. All Liberians matter. It doesn't matter what village you live in or what city you live in.
Oh boy, it's getting, this train is about to derail. Folks, they are coming. You know, the state, the people that were asking for certain numbers to get on top of the to get the White House.
No ANC yet tonight. The other ANC people go to that.
When the quarter ain't reached here, when do we make their own announcement?
No, but because I'm waiting for what he needs. Saying when break can come back on the show now. Before the end of the first quarter, we April almost finishing.
AMC Papi, yeah.
Oh yeah, he come here announce now. Okay, all right.
Amos George. We just saying under your hair.
I come in, don't worry.
Yeah, but he can't hold back.
The way the Liberal start laughing, he said that he coming before now, my baby Amos George.
Okay, next way. Okay, man, I say so Mali, ASC people alone. Okay, so good evening, welcome. Why are these people keeping us on edge politically? You're politicians. What is it meant to keep the conversations in a direction to focus on them? Why are they doing it? There was a press conference you're going to come. There was a conference today. The Secretary General speaking. They are mobilizing. They're extending invitations to other people. Why should this vice president picking be such a huge publicity? What is the strategy behind that? And what could be the downfall of it? Everything there's an opposite. Everything there's some kind of way on the other side here. Why are they doing that?
My brother Achimo Frederick leave me back. We all went to Catholic school, but leave me alone. I can't joke small now. You already get very good with me. But anyways, I'm on a serious note. The Unity Party has not shown a strength in using media to their benefits than right now. the likes of the LPR, actually the likes of you or LPR, that's been pushing this thing about we have an anxiety about the VP candidate, that you have elevated this thing to the point where you created anxiety. You're one of those people that's created this anxiety. We've never had a situation where people have been so conscious and anxious to hear who is going to be the person that's going to be next in line to the presidency. People make those announcements sometimes 90 days before election. But you, Mr. So, have been on a mission, a pilgrimage. And so if there is anxiety, you are one of those people who beat the drum to the anxiety. And now the Unity Party is clearly using that to their advantage. Now they're going to set up a whole stage. Now they're going to set up people to be anticipating. They announce weeks ahead of time that they're going to have this thing. They're going to mobilize. Whenever in the history of Liberian politics have we had anything like this about announcing a vice presidential candidate? It has never happened. But because we in the media have been beating this drum beat unnecessarily, the United Party is using that now. Now they have a press conference before the mayor announces, and there are people being invited, members of the diplomatic corps are being invited just to tell who's going to be running on your ticket. But they're benefiting because all of you created a hype.
Okay, I agree with you. And there's a reason for that. I don't want somebody come tomorrow to come tell me this person was packed. And we need to know these people, who they are and what they represent. Let's go to the far right of Atlanta, Georgia. The quarter, the Liberal was the one that was privileged to, the Liberal Progressive.
I'm here.
Yeah, you talked to Alexander Benedict Cummings. What did he say the last time? Which quarter was that? Second, third, first quarter?
In the third quarter.
Third quarter. What was his own interpretations of the third quarter? But let me just ask Amos George here. He supports ANC. Mr. George, is ANC concerned with the political gaming that is going to this theater that Unity Party managed to successfully gain the attentions of the media war now? Are they watching? Are they observant? What are you hearing from the ANC Beltway in terms of the decision-making process? Is coming closer to the decisions? I don't know. Somebody's calling about it. Go ahead.
Yes, and I said, but you are hacking the situation, so now the Unity Party is tapping to it. But the problem that I have is that.
But what the question that I have for you and Sissy, though, the question I have for Mr. George and Sissy,
you? Is that you?
Hold on. The question, I mean, this is a talk show process, is talk show. And you got to hype the program for people to listen to what you have to say. I'm not too sure why you're saying that. If the people are milking it, that's their problem.
Number, hold on. This is
we're just trying to hype it so that people will discuss it.
It's a program. It's not a talk show. We don't do talk show thing here.
No, they not even agree with me on the.
When are you? I've been friends before you want to come to my defense.
Well, I just keep telling you, Tucker Carlson, you'll be careful.
You see?
Yeah, but
go ahead, before
bro.
Huh?
I mean,
Mr. Joy, go ahead before I go to the comments.
Yeah, I'm saying we are looking at them, but this kind of publicity will not be exhibited by the ANC because announcing a vice president pick, this kind of publicity, and I want to see Friday after the announcement what will happen. Who they going to announce? That is more important. The publicity is good. Are they going? What will the woman on Friday? That's what I want to see. Because all the hype is good publicity. But as far as I'm concerned,
there is a feedback. Where is it
coming from?
Guys, let me mute these people. They're on it. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I'll go back to them. There are people on the phone, but
as far as I'm concerned, yeah, with the hacking of this announcement, as far as I'm concerned, the Unity Party have not seen anything. One thing they have not told me, for the Liberian people, what they're going to do. This old man, this is where now I'm happy. Because this is where now the scrutiny will come on. Because now the old man will be on stage, the vice president will be there. We want to see now the substance of the policy. That's why I'll be looking at this announcement is good for them. But I want to see the substance after this announcement. That's why
I really think
Okay, Sophie, let me 1 second. Let me get this off quickly so that guys, if you're on the phone, please mute your background. Let me go to 609, number 609-3791. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
How you doing?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
there's a feedback from somebody.
Thank you. My name is Mike Adami.
Okay, Mike. Welcome to the show. Just lower your monitor if you're listening to something else because I will get a feedback. Go ahead.
No. Oh, yeah. Sorry, my name is Mike Adami. I'm just sorry. I want to a little bit deviate from your conversation, but I got the issues that I want to bring up to you guys. I got a situation with Mr. Boaka, running mate that he claims to pronounce, that is in the air, Jeremiah Poon. This guy, he's a very wicked man. I grew up on Nima. I know him very well. He rented he ran my property for the past 1 year, 3 months, and he denied to pay me. Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, so
I think you and us went through this here before. I think we had a deep conversation before.
No, I haven't come on the platform with it since
But
then.
I don't think we can talk about anything. Jeremiah has not been announced, anything like that. So I don't know.
No, I said propose. I said propose.
We allow you to speak, but just to know, he has not been officially announced, so we are not making
that's what I said, propose, sir.
Okay, but let's hear you. What you say?
So this man, I'm from Nima. I grew up as a little brother, knowing this man to be like a kind of older brother. So he took my property when he built a hospital. He took my property for a hospital staff. 1 year, 3 months, he refused to pay my money. When I engaged him in the public of Nima on the main street in Ganta, he tried to pursue my life. He tried to kill me. I had to escape from Liberia. This man, I have taken him, I put him in several newspapers. Prince Johnson, who claimed himself to be a godfather, he has denied to even talk about it. I reached to him personally. He refused to even talk about it. I got recording that he went on the radio station. He said it is a hospital that took my property. That's not him in person, which of course I'm not a little child. I work in Liberia. I work with the National Bureau of Investigation, and later on got merged with the Liberian National Police. Worked with them for a length of time. But this guy treated me like a dog. Yes, sir.
Let's do this. You have this number here. I will appreciate when you call me. We can have a conversations. Let's have some of those informations. Let's have some of those things that claim to be facts. Once we have them, we will look at it. And if you wish for us to have a public conversation, we can do that, and we can equally proportionally extend an invitation to the Kuhn campaign or to Honorable Kuhn if he chooses to respond to that. How's that?
I will hardly do appreciate you for that, because every other platform I goes on, most especially the Spoon Talk, is bought by Jeremiah Cohn, which I've understood because I reach up to almost everyone on that platform. The audience that you have just given me, no one have ever given me on that platform.
Let me.
So I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I just try to say that I'm so happy that I'm being. You can even give me the time to better air my voice like how I have done it. I'm so much very happy, and I feel that this platform is very independent.
Yeah, trust me, once we get, the only thing we would not engage in the conspiracies in the windows. It happens in the same case with the stamp time. Somebody call and they wanted to come. I say, I have to get something that I can argue on and extend that invitation. So do us a favor. This number is on WhatsApp. It's regular number. You can call me after the program. You can send whatever information. We can set up time. We don't know yet whether he will be chosen. Even if he is not, he's still a public figure. He's still a senator. So if there's issue, we can talk about that, and we can also reach out to him to hear his side of the story without us being judgmental. So I would appreciate if you can do that.
Thank you so much, sir. I highly do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to Amos George Lent of Atlanta, Georgia, soccer legend Aaron is on the line. Aaron.
How you guys doing? How you guys doing?
Good, good. You seem to be you happy this event. What's going on? Is CDC relaxing?
I'm happy.
Aaron, just show if you rain, I man out.
You know, because of you know how Unity Party people celebrating all over the place because former VP Dhaka is going to take his running mate. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I got to say about it. Though. Sister made a great point. You know, people pick running mates probably 90 days, sometimes 60 days for election, you know. And the reason why they do that in developed countries like the United States is because they got only two political parties. Okay? My excitement here today is that, you know, everybody going into the race. We're hearing that Bibi Bada is going to pick Jeremiah Cohn. If he takes Jeremiah Cohn, you know, I have to say, but who is Jeremiah Cohn? I mean, that's the first question I would ask people. Who is Jeremiah Cohn? Okay, Jeremiah Cohn does not have monopoly over Lima County. When he ran in Lima County, so other people ran in Lima County against him. Other people took votes from Lima County. So if you think Jeremiah Cohn alone will give you Lima County or Jeremiah Cohn and Prince Johnson will give you Lima County, I mean, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. With all the baggages that Prince Johnson got behind him, Prince Johnson going to bring somebody to you and you think he's going to give you something? We're not afraid of Jeremiah Cohn. We're not afraid of nobody. Okay? The reason why President Weah refused to deal with Prince Johnson is because of the baggages that behind Prince Johnson. President Weah is not stupid.
So hold on. The baggages, were those baggages not there when he was accommodated or he was after?
When he was accommodated by the president?
Yeah.
Well, no, those baggages were there. Those baggages were there, but for the sake of peace, the president decided to work with Prince Johnson.
So now the president want peace.
When the sanction came,
I want you to level SCDJ. When not in your favor, you're something else, for people.
I want you to come on video in the last 20 minutes so you
I'm coming on right now. I'm coming on.
The man wants to show his face again.
Come on,
yeah.
Let me finish.
Come on here. Just text me that email address again. I just want to see those baggages, where they left them, whether they left Ganta Apple Highway or whether they were.
Okay. All right. I'm texting you the email address. All right.
Okay. So, you see, this is the problem. Everybody protect. Oh, 3168. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hello? Terry?
Yeah, Terry.
Okay,
How you doing,
Terry.
Mr. Sue?
Good evening. Quickly, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I think what people don't understand is that if JMB do pick Jeremiah Cohn, that means that ticket is a successful ticket. All right? Because like I overheard an analyst analyzing, and the analysis was true. Twin Johnson have been a factor politically in the landscape of Liberia, whether you like it or not. The two gone election, they talk about Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor had Nimbadians as his running mate. And you watch how he became successful. Let's watch Ellie Johnson Sirleaf. Ellie Johnson Sirleaf needed Prince Johnson to win Nima County, even in her second term. It was a very key factor. All right. Let's watch George Manuel Weah. He needed Prince Johnson. He needed the Prince Johnson factor. So anybody who ignored Nima County is destined to fail. You're not going to win the election. So I don't understand. Election winning in Liberia has been about strategy. It has been about number. It has not been about compassion and who is doing the right thing or who is eloquent or intelligent. It has been about strategy, and that is what will win the election. So I think if JMB picks Jeremiah Cohn, that would be a successful ticket. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. We're not taking call right now. Let me go to my guys. All right. Gentlemen, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I'm not sure where this whole thing here going, depending who you talk to. But I want to see Aaron. I don't know why he said it was there, but I don't know where they left that. But again, that's everybody protect his or her own little
It left right to the Simple River, the Simple
yeah.
Bridge,
So
the John Bridge,
politically here,
John Bridge.
Sissy, what the other opponents, the other oppositions, what should they be thinking on now? What should they be doing with this whole thing here? Is that something people like Amos Joy said? This is not what ANC going to be doing. Aaron send a link. I'm not sure what are you sending. Let me just check the. Let me just check the.
You're on a proper network. You can get their messages.
Yeah.
But but look, before let me give Aaron a more ingredient to want to come on the show. You hear talking about people picking senator from a county because they want that county and that senator can provide a county. The same thought process you have when you pick Joe Howard Taylor, that you thought Joe Howard Taylor could get you bon county. Sometimes the dissonance can be so palpable, and you're talking about baggages, and you still keeping Joe Howard Taylor.
Yeah.
Are you talking about baggages? You know, but let's move apart. Look, the Unity Party is setting themselves up for failure. And I'm going to say this, they're not going to like it. And here is why. You announce on the 28th of this month. You still got a hold of, let me see if I still know my calendar.
6 months.
You got 6 months to have a candidate to be put under the microscope. You have 6 months to maintain the momentum because you can't announce with one momentum, then you go die away.
Mm-hmm.
You have to maintain an amount of momentum for 6 months with this person. What do you have planned that can sustain that? The next piece is, because they set this thing up and they publicize this thing so much, there are going to be tangents, right? Their intention is to announce a VP candidate. But you know what people are going to start talking about? The crowd size. The boy, you cover all the things that who working there, all the crowd size. They will start arguing crowd sizes. Right? Before they even start talking about who you pick, right? And then they'll start talking about, oh, you brought people, you ain't even paid a way to go by. So you distract, you take away. There's a lot of things at the Unity Party. I agree, they're riding on the hype that's been created by the media. I get it. But they themselves have not been careful in their calculations, because they are riding this hype, and this hype is going to go down. And then it's going to go back to a situation where it's a dot, because elections have not been declared open yet.
Campaign
has not been declared open yet. So you have this kind of a momentum. What are you going to do with it? You're going to sit down, put it back in the bottle, and close it back up and sit down. And then you're going to have a lot of people, a lot of detractors coming at you. So to your question about what other opposition political parties are doing, I don't speak for other opposition political parties, but I know the Liberian People Party of Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. We all stay out there talking to the Liberian people, telling them about what matters and why it is important that they understand that these elections are an existential consequences to Liberian people. And we are laying down in front of the Liberian people the issues and allowing them to talk to us about what are the things that are important to them. We're not trying to tell the people in Slowo Town what we think is important to them, but that we believe from Monrovia. We are going there and listening to those people about what are their kitchen table issues and what do they think are the most important things that government and their leaders should tackle. So if you ask me that question, we are not leading with this thing about people thinking somehow, and I want to quote my candidate real quick and I stop. He had a quote that said, somehow the Unity Party people and Joseph Boakai think the people that voted for them, they just throw that vote, put in the freezer and froze it. That somehow humans don't change. That situations have not changed where people who voted for Joseph Boakai might end up voting against him or the other way around. And that also extends to other people who keep saying Cummings is 7%, 7%, as if to say that Cummings will not be able to expand on that. The people who voted for him somehow just don't get lucky, and so nobody else can vote for Cummings, or nobody else who voted for him can vote against him. Our point we're making as at the Liberian People Party and Tiawan Gonglo is to the Liberian people and say, look, you have other choices. You have other choices after these establishment politicians. You have other people who are willing to buck the system and work for you. So we're not going to be running behind a hype of having an interview and a press conference before we announce a running mate. We're not into that. We're talking about
I don't even understand the rationale, and I think that was a very good observation. I listened to tour today that boss is going to be. What if you say it was at a convention and then you're getting people there? Okay, but you're not having a convention again.
The
What?
Joseph Walker nomination, they never had that kind of publicity. The Joseph Walker, the man who is leading the ticket, they never had that kind of publicity. Then the vice tenor bearer, it's the publicity. It's like this is a guy when they think who's going to run the country. Because the publicity again is like this is a man who's going to run the country. Because the man who is ahead of the ticket did not even get the kind of publicity. So why this person who's going to be second in command is having this kind of publicity? What is going on? What they know that we don't know? But let me say this is why I always say the United Party people figure that the vote has just been locked up in a closet or somewhere sitting for them. This is why the candidate don't bother to go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Just say, Mr. Cummings is out there talking to engaging the Liberian people. But in the party, everything is done. It's sealed already. So they figure that they don't need to engage in Liberian people. So I mean that is up to them. But Mr. Cummings, he's out there talking to the voters. This is a system. To crack is not easy. But I'm glad that they're coming on now with this nomination. Because they'll fall off from there. Because we have all more time to suck the audience and order this thing here. Because we're not start pitching this person. We just saw tonight. I heard Mr. Tapper today. They are not even reached out to some of the people. The keeper that depending on he are not reached out to them. But he's still saying it will coalesce around them. So waiting for it. Let it announce it.
Okay.
Let it lock down Friday, let it lock down Monrovia.
Yeah, I thought they would have engaged all of the entire airwaves, slammed bad accent of prime time slot, put the vice president somewhere, presidential, the flag of Liberia.
Let me say this here. It doesn't matter you to center right. It doesn't matter any other person you try to diminish this. I'm just saying this is such a wonderful. I want you guys to stay away from it. Let Ambassador Baka and his people, if they're gonna go through with it, let them milk as much as they can out of it without you guys trying to diminish it. And then the CDC, IE captain, Piggy said this is nothing. I mean, you guys got to be serious.
We're just saying there's one cow. We're just saying there's one cow. There's not plenty of milk that can come from one cow.
Yeah, but y'all wait your turn. That ain't your turn. Y'all wait for your turn. Y'all do it one by one. Watch Ambassador Baka not because everybody they think y'all wait your turn. That ain't your turn. Y'all wait for your turn.
I can buy a ticket and go tomorrow to go attend the nomination.
Okay, guys, we are running out of time here. We know the liberal. The liberal will always be liberal. I know where we can put this guy here. He's always ridiculous in his own words, and so he's trying to do everything to moderate now. All right, I'll let Aaron unmute your microphone there. Let's see.
Yeah, man. How you muted him?
So how you doing, sir? How you guys doing? Good evening, Mr. Soul, Mr. Toll, Mr. Mali, George, and Sissy.
Yeah, we wasn't really getting you good.
Simple, how you doing?
Interpret you what you were saying. You said the last time the incumbent president accommodated Senator Prince Johnson, right?
Yeah.
And I was asking you at the time of that accommodation whether he had those baggages like you were talking about, and you said, what was your answer?
Yeah, Mr. So, okay. So what I said was the president accommodated Prince Johnson in 2017. Okay. Prince Johnson supported the president in the second round. Just a point of correction. He did not come with a coalition in the first round. So I hope we get that clear. In the second round, the same way he supported everybody in the second round. Okay. So when these sanctions got on Prince Johnson, the president decided to back away from Prince Johnson. That's what he did. He backed away from Prince Johnson. All this noise you see people carrying around talking about the president went to go beg Prince Johnson, the president did this, the president did that. It's the same thing like, like the ambassador's statement. Some of the things that the ambassador said were true. Were something that he saw for himself, and some of them was something that he read from papers and stuff like that. So that's what I said.
So reading things are bad now. Reading things are bad. Reading things now are bad things now. Reading book this now or reading report, they are bad things now.
No, they're not bad.
Oh, okay.
They are not bad. They are not bad. I'm not saying they are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, let's go back to this Prince Johnson topic. The president accommodated him. He had all those baggages as well. But the thing I don't understand, okay? Pat George made it very, very clear. People celebrating for a vice presidential pick. Who's celebrating? Just how many times the opposition came on public media and published stuff that they're going to do, programs and stuff like that. And when time came, we left our jobs and watching our phone and stuff like that to see what's going on in Monrovia. The people not even more than the people in my house. You understand? The people were not even more than the people in my house. That's the same thing going to happen on Friday. And I beg your indulgence, Mr. So, if you have a show on Friday, please let analyze the Accra on Friday if you have a show. But this thing is only being publicized by Eugene Fagor on Spoon Network. And few United Party people who just running around thinking Joseph Boyka got people that he keeping.
We don't really have time. I'm not sure whether you answered my question, but the idea to kind of support in the first.
I said yes. He never supported the president in the first round. Let's get that right. He came in the second round, so he was not even part of the coalition. Let's get that right. Prince Johnson was never part of the coalition.
So his coming in the second round, whatever round, was that an added advantage to the president to his presidency?
Well, it was. I cannot look. I wasn't in the war room to check the votes. Okay, to say Prince Johnson came with people behind him. If Prince Johnson pledged his support to the president, not just Prince Johnson. What are the people that voted for him in Nima County follow him? We didn't know that. We didn't know that other people in Nima County made up their own mind to support the president after the first round, before Prince Johnson even pledged his support.
So what kept the people first round from supporting the president that made them not to support the president in the second round only after Prince Johnson had endorsed the president? You can see a correlation. You can see a line. Don't be scared to draw that line. Draw that line. Because in the first round, the president, the amount of vote he got in Nima County was not the same as the amount of vote he got after Prince Johnson endorsed him. And whether or not Prince Johnson joined the coalition from the beginning, he joined to the end. The end of the day is so gonna swallow into place. Whether Jonah swallowed the fee or the fee swallowed Jonah, so gonna swallow into place. Prince Johnson was a member of the coalition. Prince Johnson refused to renew his membership in the coalition, and you know that for a fact. So here's the thing.
Prince Johnson wasn't a member of the coalition. Prince Johnson joined the coalition.
If the man joined the coalition, he's not a member.
He's not a funding member.
I did not take his funding. Why you funding him, Mama?
I'm just trying to tell you. He wasn't a funding member of the coalition.
My man, I didn't say funding. Don't try to change the topic. We're not changing the topic. We stay on it. I did not say funding. I didn't even use that word. I didn't even know where that word coming from. I said some kind of swallowing to place. Whether Jonah swallow LFC or the fee swallow Jonah, some kind of swallowing to place. Prince Johnson was a member of the coalition, and Prince Johnson refused to renew a membership in the coalition. Those are facts. And then the next fact you got to look at here is that even if there were two people that voted after Prince Johnson said he endorsed the president, those two people helped you across the finish line. And after inauguration, you were in bed with Prince Johnson for a very long time. You have to be able to say facts. Yes, there might be things that's why the relationship didn't last and you're broke apart. Yes, but you got to be factual to the Liberian people. Don't come here try to minimize the amount of weight Prince Johnson brought to the CDC for you to become president. When you didn't have Prince Johnson, you never won presidency until Prince Johnson can endorse you in round 2. You don't do that kind of thing, Messian player.
So okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. John.
For the previous election, George, we had never won Nima County. 2005, he never won. 11, he never won.
You want to go there, but 2005 and 11? Did you count the votes in 2005 and 11?
He won Nima
Did you count the votes?
No,
did you count the votes?
You got
Let's not talk about 2005
no,
2011 election. Election that will happen.
Hello. You got data that you can share with us that will show that the vote was not counted? You got data you can share with us?
I'm not going to share data with you guys.
Don't talk about it because then I deny the election denialism right there. Don't do that. If you take all the data for the look at it, don't talk about it.
All right.
So Aaron,
yeah. Prince, I don't know whether your number is on WhatsApp. There's a guy trying to send a message.
The record shows.
Let me see what I.
Mr. So.
But yeah.
Mr. So I hate to say this, but I have previous engagements and I'm gonna have to excuse myself. I know I'm very important to this show. As everybody here, they love the liberal. They always want me to come in, but I just hate.
Aaron, thank you. Yeah, you're making a man run away. You're the first man I ever appear on the platform that made a liberal run away.
Yeah, Mr. So I have to leave, and we will meet again on Friday.
I think Friday will be the interesting one.
Very interesting. Friday will be very interesting.
He put
when he put I think it's already. We always want to
the time. When Prince Johnson joined him, he won
Nima County. Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys. Let me see and get this guy here who is
winning that election.
All right. So guys, we are already out of time here.
Liberian people that Prince Johnson was not a factor of George Weah winning Nima County. After 2 attempts,
no, I didn't say that. I didn't say he wasn't a factor. Okay. I didn't say he wasn't a factor. It's been 6 years. It's been 5 years.
Hold on. Let me see. We are already out of time, but let's hear from this brother. People in Liberia. Let's see. He's been asking to call. Good morning.
Good morning to you, the host, and your panelists.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. What are you in Liberia? You said?
Yeah, and I'm in Liberia, currently in the capital, one of the biggest district number 17.
District number 17. What is happening there this evening or this morning?
For now, it is 2 in the morning, so people are yet to start their normal business. And others are still in bed while others are preparing their early morning jobs and other things.
Why are you up this time of morning hour thing like that? What is interest to you this evening? Let's hear from
you. I follow the social media all the time, so I feel that with this kind of time, the social media is a bit free, and people access the internet as smooth as they want to by this time of the day. But then to the issue, I was like scrolling and I saw your live and I decided to join because the topic on our discussion is interesting. Okay. It's about our country, Liberia, and the way things are going for now. Okay. So I will firstly begin by saying the first time that I voted was in 2017. And then since then, I have not voted yet. and maybe I may likely be voting during 2023 comes October 10.
Okay.
But then my analysis or points to your topic on a discussion tonight is that George Bush is the current president.
Yeah.
There are a lot of speculation or facts about some mistakes or his delinquency when it comes to running the country. People carry news around, and then some are good, some are not good, though. But then there is the point. People who saying they want to come and take the country from President Weah, they are only saying George Weah should be removed from power. They are not coming to another clear message that, oh, this is what the country is supposed to be like, or this is how it's supposed to be. That's another problem. And the people that are saying this are all people who were there before. So their campaign messages are not encouraging to people. Like for
Oh boy. Internet in Liberia. Right. All right, see, reconnecting. Yeah, are you there? Are you there, Prince? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you are reconnected. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, so the lawmakers in the country are the problem to the country. They are the primary problem to this country. So the lawmakers are not voted into power on behalf of the Liberian people that voted them. They went there on behalf of their family and themselves. Like I'm currently telling you that I'm in district number 17. District number 17 is known as the abandoned district in this country right now.
Who is a representative in that district?
Who's a representative?
Hassan Kiazuru from the Unity Party. Hassan Kiazuru told the people that he bought his votes from here, so he got no dealing with the people in this district, and he's currently in his hometown. Grand Kema want to contest in Kema as a senator. So these are how lawmakers can draw in this country. These are how top opposition people can draw and just use up free. And for God's sake, I don't know whether you guys observe this. During election day, the sun is more hot or the heavy pull down of rain. I believe there is a sign to people that it is because of you, the people are under the hot sun. It is because of you, the people are under the rain. Want to vote you when you win this position, don't turn your back on them. But yet instead, the people leave it and come to all with another bad feelings.
Do you know Thomas Fala?
It was opportune to enter in one of the people's offices. If you enter in there, you don't be the enemy.
Do you know Thomas Fala?
The man using a data, I mean, Hako here.
Yeah, is there a lesson learned from last time around and coming to this 2023? There's a lesson learned. Do you learn a lesson?
A very great lesson that I learned. I understand that they are the same people who just turning around us. So for my observation was, there is no reason, maybe like removing President Weah from power. I'm not a citizen. I don't have CDC ID card. I don't have nothing of such. But I analyze, let's say country first, regardless of our political differences. Okay. If you hold President Weah, for the next 6 years. Let's see what are these small feeder roads that he helping the country where we extend to connect the entire country. That food will be coming in smoothly. You say the former vice president worked in government for 45 or 48 years. What's his achievement? Former Vice President Joseph Yama Bwaka is educated. It is beneficial to Liberian people. I think when the president is in 6th grade, should behave like a 6th grade student. When you still got people like Prince Johnson, you still got people like Eugene Falcon who are sacked from the government for God's sake. And you think we'll take Falcon serious? You think Costa who telling us Bwaka was the damn man walking?
Are you? Are you sounding like a sedition in defense of the president or not? Let's be real here.
I'm not
for the good of the country.
No, Mr. Soul. No, Mr. Soul.
I clearly told you. I clearly told you.
Asking the man. Yeah.
I clearly told you that regardless of our political differences, we say country first. And I told you some things that are happening or some things that they've come and promised to do that they are not doing.
Okay.
So I want to
say you went deep into the things the other people were saying. So what are some of the things the president said you are going to do that he didn't do it? Can you name some for us?
Okay, this president clearly told us that positions in the country or
I think we are out
position will be given to Liberian
Prince,
people.
what you do, join us here Friday. We're going to be here. Let's get the nomination. But I know you said the number 2.
No problem. What did do you?
I wanted to give you the opportunity. We don't.
You said a memo talk. They
really say when it comes to the lawmaker and all of that, those are things that we really do, and that's why we want to know who those people that are contesting. But I really do appreciate you being up this sort of morning hour. You could be in bed, but burning your data to call, we must give you the opportunity. We want all voices to be heard, no matter whether we agree or disagree with it.
My man Prince, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll replenish your data. We'll put your data back. Thank you for using your data to call. Yeah,
the number.
We'll put data back on your phone. Thank you, my man.
I mean, we want people to speak their mind.
Yeah, that bro belongs to all of us.
Agree with them.
Thank you for calling.
People to speak out what is.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. John on Friday will be lively on Friday.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, guys.
Aaron, why are you going back there?
We are being here. We got to go. I think Friday going to be the power board night. Let's do a quick run up here in this building before we bring this conversation to a conclusion. Amos George, what's the message? What's your final message?
I'm just waiting for Friday to see the big announcement that is coming out of the Unity Party.
Okay.
But at the end, let me just say this. I don't want to preempt something. If my brother is not selected as a VP.
Your brother? Who your brother?
Aaron Costa. Any people from Bonkande? Aaron Costa.
No, but I don't know.
If my brother. No, he from Carrisburg. I don't speak bad.
The man will claim Bonkande. The man stay for Bonkande.
Go ahead quickly. We are out of time.
Yeah, let me say this. If my brother is not selected by the vice president, and I think that will be unfair to him, and he would be, I would consider as a big loser, because the old man promised him, and the language started changing, and he abandoned his quest for the senatorial position in Maserado. So I think he would be a big loser, but I will be in sympathy with him. That's my thing.
He fought a trouble. Wow. Seriously? Aaron, let's hear your final words. Maybe Friday.
Why you holding your nose for?
Yeah, thank you again, Mr. So, for inviting me on the show. What I have to say is, look, we have seen opposition people playing rallies, protests, peaceful marches and stuff like that, throughout the 6 years. Okay. Only one was successful because at the time, Liberian people never knew who they were. So people gravitated towards them. We're going to come here on Friday again and be like, what happened to the people? It will be a resounding, sign of defeat on Friday again. You guys going to see it.
Let's wait and see what happens Friday.
Okay. So, I thank you. I will wait till Friday, and we're going to see the person that Prince Johnson dancing with and stuff. That Prince Johnson he's more than Eugene Fagon. He's just all over the place. I will just go and support his brother from Nima County. I think that will help him a lot.
What
Instead of jumping over this boat and another boat. So thank you, and I will see you guys on Friday.
All right, thank you so much. Mala Jones, let me bring it. That's one thing. When you break covenant with the seditions, you're in a double, triple trouble. They will continue to make you
like Bush. You can't go see the devil for there.
You stand that confident and you went under that sapcomo tree, and for whatever reason you throw that red berry away, you're done. Okay, Jones, let's hear from you quickly.
Well, I have got two observations. One, I realize that the opposition political parties are making headlines in Liberia, while the ruling CDC government is making headways quietly in so many sectors in Liberia, and this is something to worry about. But coming back to the platform, I think two of my colleagues just decided to indict this platform for either subconsciously putting up the issue of the vice president up there, and so now it's creating stir within the opposition camp. I think the platform has got a traditional obligation to set an agenda for discussion. And the issue of the vice president is crucial and key to the proliferation of our country. And we have all right, despite our position independent of being a diehard, to discuss that issue. So even the selection of Joseph Boakas's vice president, be a Kun or whosoever, we'll have to critique it because we all belong to Liberia. As a matter of fact, we are making contribution to Liberia by extension through this platform. So we are part of the process. But come Friday, I think there where the main critical analysis will come in. And one of them is Joseph Boakai was on Spoon platform last 2 months. And it's recorded. He said he wants to become a one-term president. They asked him, why you won't be president? He said, no, I just want to be one term. So the vice president coming is very, very, very crucial. I yield.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, Ty, Sister Goya.
So usually on this platform, I tend to push back on CDC. Today's a ceasefire. I will hold back. But let me say to my brother, Comrade Mali, I think you pontificated, but you read a wrong Bible voice. The question that Mr. So asked was, why the hype around the VP selection? Nobody said that you cannot set an agenda to discuss on this platform. That was never the point. So again, you read Habakkuk 3:3, but you're talking about Jesus being baptized. There's two different things. The man asked a question about why the hype. And I said the hype because folks like you have been hyping this issue all along, talking about it, making it like it is an emergency. I did not say he didn't have the right to do that. He asked a question and the answer was in context. And so having said that, what I'm looking forward to is I'll be sitting on Friday. I will follow the entire show, but I'll be following the show as a scholar. I'll be following what happens as a scholar, doing a research that will benefit the Liberian people. I'm going to be looking at what is said, what is not said, who is there, who is not there. And I'm going to be looking at that as a way to tell the Liberian people, yo, these are the pluses, and telling my guy, here are where the lapses are, and here is where we need to talk to the Liberian people about how they feel. I hope they succeed. I hope they can maintain the momentum, because I think if the CDC and the Unity Party and the ANC and the LPP and the PUP and the 500 other Ps can maintain a momentum and an intellectual momentum in a discussion, Liberia benefits. But we will be sitting, we'll be watching, we'll be listening, and we'll be looking at body languages. And whomever the Unity Party selects, I think it will give a lot of people that have been sitting on the fences a chance to recalibrate and recalculate. If they make a good choice, there are a lot of people that are on the sidelines that will jump in with them. If they make a bad choice, there are a lot of people that are with them that will end up leaving them. So whether the life or the death of this bird is in their hand, they can squeeze their hand on it, die, or they can leave it and they fly. I'll be watching on Friday.
Guys, the best of analysts in this business. Aaron, thank you for popping in. All eyes on the Unity Party. People glued so and see what the announcement says. ANC will be the next. Maybe after that, Benedict Cummings will be making an announcement to hope for it. We don't know yet, but that's it. Guys, thank you so much. I hope to see you. Thank you for giving back to your community and to all of our folks in radio land, whatever you are watching. We say thank you so much for being part of today's program. The young man I call in from Liberia, Tamale Jones, thank you so much for being here. Until then, I am Alfonso Zain, sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR.
C'est encore la magie de Bayatemo. Qui va dire? Est-ce semblé? Le parrain permanent, Conseiller la Rock. Assez au papa.
Ayatemo ye play o.